The Broken Wings Story of Arjun. Arjun sat quietly in the corner of the crowded room, watching everyone else laugh, talk, and shine. The party was full of energy, music floated in the air. People joked in English, tossed stories around like flying colors, and made new friends with easy smiles. But Arjun stayed silent. He wanted to join. He had funny stories too. He had big dreams. He had a heart full of ideas. But his English, it was like a wall, high and cold, separating him from the world. When someone spoke to him, he smiled awkwardly, maybe said one word, 2 words. Inside, he felt ashamed. Why am I like this? He thought bitterly. Why can't I just speak like them? He remembered his school days. English classes were boring, full of grammar rules and punishments. Nobody taught him how to use English. They only taught him how to fear it. Slowly, English became his enemy, a monster that made him feel stupid. Years passed. Dreams grew in his heart. To travel the world, to study in great universities, to work in big companies. But every time he tried to fly, he crashed. Job interviews failed. Speaking opportunities missed. Friends from other countries lost. It felt like life was moving forward at full speed, but he was stuck on the platform, watching everyone else board the train. One evening, Arjun sat by the lake near his house. The sunset painted the water gold and purple. A soft wind touched his face. He closed his eyes and whispered, "I feel like a bird with broken wings." He wanted to fly, but he couldn't. Tears filled his eyes. He thought about giving up. Maybe he should just accept a small life, a life of silence and regrets. But deep inside, a tiny voice spoke. "Your wings are broken, not lost. Fix them." Arjun sat there for a long time, thinking, was it possible? Could he fix his wings? Could he learn English, really learn it, and finally join the world he dreamed of? Something stirred inside him, a small fire, a decision. He would not waste his life. He would learn. He would fight, no matter how hard, no matter how long. Arjun stood up, brushed the dust off his jeans, and walked home with a new feeling in his heart. Hope. Tomorrow would be day 1. The next morning, Arjun sat at his desk with a notebook and a blue pen. The page was blank, just like his English. He stared at it, feeling a little stupid. Where do I even start? He thought. He remembered something he had heard once. Big journeys begin with small steps. Arjun wrote on the first page, slowly and carefully. Day 1. I will fix my wings. Then he made a simple plan. Listen to English everyday podcasts, videos, anything. Read easy English books and articles. Speak a little English to himself. Even if it was wrong, write a few sentences daily, just to build the habit. Simple, clear, small, no grand promises, no magic tricks, just daily steps. The first struggles. At first, it was painful, listening to English podcasts. He understood almost nothing reading English articles. He needed to check the dictionary every second sentence, speaking to himself. He sounded like a broken robot. I am go to shop. He muttered, feeling embarrassed even alone. Many nights he wanted to give up. Maybe I'm too stupid, he thought. Maybe this is impossible. But then he would remember that night by the lake. He would remember the feeling of being trapped, invisible, powerless. He would whisper to himself, "Fix your wings, Arjun, fix your wings." And he would continue, even when it was boring, even when it was frustrating, even when nobody clapped for him, nobody cheered, nobody cared. Because he cared, because his dreams mattered. Small victories, weeks passed, then months, one day, while watching a YouTube video in English, something surprising happened. He understood it, not all of it, not every word, but enough to laugh at a joke, enough to feel connected. Arjun smiled. This was his first small victory. Another day, he was reading an article about travel destinations. He realized he didn't need a dictionary every minute anymore. He could guess meanings. He could feel the language. Small victory. He started recording himself speaking English, even if it was awkward. At first, his sentences were full of mistakes. But slowly, they became better, stronger, more natural. He joined an online English speaking club. The first time he spoke, his hands shook, his voice trembled. But after he finished, people clapped. "Good job, Arjun. You're improving fast." Tears filled his eyes, not because of the compliments, but because he finally saw the path. The days of doubt, of course. There were still dark days. Days when English felt like a mountain too high to climb. Days when native speakers talked so fast it felt like bullets. Days when he looked at himself and thought, "I'm still not good enough." But by now, Arjun had learned a secret. Success is not about never falling. Success is about getting up one more time than you fall. Whenever he felt tired, he would read the first page of his notebook. Day 1, I will fix my wings. And he would remember, he was not competing with anyone. He was not trying to be perfect. He was just fixing his wings, one feather at a time. A new identity. After 6 months of daily work, something beautiful happened inside Arjun. He stopped thinking of himself as bad at English. He stopped seeing himself as broken. Instead, he started thinking, "I am a learner. I am growing every day. I am getting stronger." This new identity gave him energy, pride, confidence. He no longer avoided English conversations. He no longer stayed silent in group chats. He started believing in his dreams again. One day, while helping a foreign tourist find a restaurant in his city, Arjun realized he could help. He could communicate. He could connect. The tourist smiled warmly and said, "Your English is good. Thank you, brother." Arjun smiled back, heart full of joy. His wings, though still healing, were no longer broken. They were almost ready to fly. 6 months became a year, and Arjun was no longer the silent boy hiding in the corner. He was different now, not because he was perfect, but because he was brave. He still made mistakes. He still searched for words sometimes. But now he spoke with confidence, with heart, and that made all the difference. The opportunity. One afternoon, Arjun received an email from an international company. They had seen his profile online. They were looking for young people who could communicate in English and help with their new project in India. "Would you be available for an interview next week?" the email asked. Arjun stared at the screen. His heart raced. Fear whispered in his mind, "What if you fail? What if they laugh at you?" But another voice, stronger now, answered, "You have fixed your wings. It's time to fly." He replied, "Yes, I would love to attend the interview." The big day. On the morning of the interview, Arjun stood in front of his mirror wearing his best shirt. He practiced smiling. He practiced introducing himself. "Good morning. My name is Arjun. It's a pleasure to meet you." His palms were sweaty. His heart thumped like a drum. But he remembered something he had learned in his journey. Courage doesn't mean you don't feel fear. Courage means you act anyway. The interview started. The interviewer, a woman from London, smiled warmly and asked, "Tell me about yourself, Arjun." He took a deep breath, and then he spoke. Not perfectly, not without small mistakes, but clearly, confidently, passionately. He talked about his love for learning, his desire to grow, and how he taught himself English through daily discipline. The interviewer listened carefully. She nodded, smiled, and asked more questions. Arjun answered all of them, sometimes searching for words, but never giving up. At the end of the interview, she said, "Arjun, I must say, your English is good, but your attitude is even better. We'd love to have you on our team." Arjun's mouth dropped open. "Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much," he said, voice full of joy. The first flight. A month later, Arjun boarded a flight for the first time in his life. As the plane lifted into the sky, he looked out of the window at the shrinking earth below. He smiled, eyes shining with tears. Once he had sat by a lake, feeling like a bird with broken wings. Now he was flying, literally and spiritually, a message to dreamers. In the years that followed, Arjun traveled to different cities. He made friends from different countries. He worked on exciting projects, shared ideas, gave speeches, and lived a life he once thought was impossible. He never became a perfect English speaker, but he became a powerful one because he spoke with authenticity, courage, and heart. One evening, after giving a small talk at an international event, a young boy from the audience came up to him. The boy looked nervous and said, "Sir, your English is so good. I wish I could speak like you, but my English is very bad." Arjun smiled warmly. He saw himself in that boy, the fear, the doubt, the broken wings. He knelt down and said, "I was just like you. I couldn't speak English either. I was scared. I felt small." The boy's eyes widened. "Really, sir?" "Yes, but listen to me," Arjun said gently. "Your wings are not lost. They are only broken. And broken wings can be fixed." "How, sir?" the boy asked. Arjun smiled and answered, "One small step at a time. Daily practice, daily courage, daily hope. Never give up. One day you will fly too." The boy smiled shyly and nodded. As Arjun walked away, he felt a deep peace in his heart, because he knew he had not wasted his life. He had fought for his dreams. He had fixed his wings. He had learned to fly, and now he was helping others to fly too. The end. Final message for readers. If you feel trapped today, remember, your wings are not lost. They are only broken. Fix them. Fight for your dreams. Learn English. Fly high. And never, ever waste your beautiful life.